what's up guys? My name is Zach, and this week I've been driving the 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe Calligraphy. Up front is a 2.5 liter turbocharged inline-4, and down below is an 8-speed automatic transmission. Now I am super excited to be making this video because I've spent the last 7 days and over 500 miles driving the all-new Santa Fe. This was my first opportunity to drive the freshly redesigned Santa Fe, and so I have plenty of thoughts that will go into that. This might be a little lengthy, but I think it'll be noteworthy. But if you would like to submit your own vehicle, you can head on over to my website, zackpradel.com/submit. It's a quick and easy submission form. It takes under a minute to fill out, and I come out to you. But let's get back to that 2.5 liter turbo under the hood. Well, it makes 277 horsepower and is one of 2 drivetrains offered. There also is a hybrid that is available with a smaller 1.6 and of course a hybrid system. This is the 2.5 and I think it's adequate, but it does leave me wanting just a little bit more. This is a big automobile, and so merging on the highway, in traffic, getting around people, it leaves a little bit of power to be desired. Like I said, paired to it is an 8-speed automatic transmission. It is a dual clutch 8-speed. Now, I like the transmission. I think it shifts well, I think it's quiet, and it does its job. However, there have been people reporting, and we'll hear from them a little bit later on, that the 8-speed auto is not very reliable. They've had some teething issues with it for sure, and that's across the board, unfortunately. Now, I've talked to a couple Kia technicians, and when they offered the 8-speed dual clutch in the Sorento, they had the same issues for about the first model year, and then they seemed to clear themselves up from Kia. So I have hopes that Hyundai will fix these transmission issues. And if you do go over to the hybrid, it actually gets a 6-speed automatic as opposed to this here 8, which seems to be more reliable. So the hybrid seems to be the more reliable option. Last but not least, this Santa Fe is, of course, all-wheel drive. So how does it feel to drive the Santa Fe? Well, like I said, it doesn't make all the power in the world, but other than that, I think it drives really well. Visibility out the front is great, and you have a 360 camera to help with the back. It has a nice ride, decently cushy enough. And although it is a very big vehicle, it doesn't feel super big on the road. It doesn't feel like a Tahoe or Suburban, which is always nice. With that stuff out of the way, let's talk about the interior. Well, in front of me, I have a completely digital gauge cluster. Now, this will change around when you select different drive modes or if you go to different pages, and I quite like it. I think it looks good, functions well, and I have no complaints, and you can switch it between the classic or more modern styles, a minimalist style, or more typical gauges, which I like that addition. To the left of the gauge cluster is a fingerprint scanner. So if you have the Hyundai app on your phone and have it all set up, you can start the vehicle with just your phone and the fingerprint scanner. Very, very cool to see that, and really cool technology coming out of Hyundai. On the steering wheel, on the left, we have our adaptive cruise control options, as well as steering assist. And off to the right, we have our mode, voice commands, skip track, volume, and phone options. The overall steering wheel is very nice. It feels very luxurious, and the 4 dots in the center of the steering wheel are Morse code for H, which will be a running theme throughout the car. Off to the left, we do get a climate control vent, and you'll see this nice wood accent for the calligraphy trim level. And down below, we have our power parking brake, gauge dimmer switch, trunk release, and our traction control off. Moving on to the door, we have more wood accents, the handle to get in and out, and our 2 memory seat options. And down below, we have power mirrors, power locks, and power windows. Moving into the center, we do have our infotainment system. This does have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as, of course, it does have the sounds of nature, which are lovely to hear as always. And like I said, we have tons of different cameras, so really cool to see the different angles that you can get. You can get this cool 3D outside angle view, which I really like, and so plenty of options here. Down below that, we have 2 more climate control vents and more wood accents. Then we have some radio buttons for the power off to the left, home map, search, media, seek, track, favorite, and setup, and then our climate controls. So these are touchscreen buttons, and I am not a big fan. It does get dual zone climate. We also get a heated steering wheel, ventilated seats, and heated seats. However, I don't like the touchscreens. In some light, it is hard to see what is what. And this actually happened to me. I couldn't see what was what. There was like a glare on it. I wanted my cooled seat on. It was very warm out. So I hit the cooled seat button and I'm driving. And I'm like, wow, I cannot cool down. I am so hot today. I can't cool off. And I looked down and I turned on my heated seat instead of the cooled seat because it makes the same noise of when you click either one. And because of the glare, I knew I was in the right spot. I couldn't physically feel which button I was hitting. So I had my heated seat on while it was like 85 degrees outside. So don't love that. Down below, we do get physical buttons for auto hold, four-wheel drive lock, auto start stop, hill descent control, our camera button, and our parking sensors, and our drive mode button. So we do have several drive modes we can select. We have Snow, My Drive, Sport, and Normal. My Drive, of course, is going to be customizable. Then we have some more interesting buttons. So we do have our USB-C inputs down here, and you can select if you want them to work for the radio and charge, or just work as a charger. The secondary one is just a charger. And we have the UVC button. So if you open the top glove box, place an item in there, close it, and hit this UVC button, it actually shines a UV light onto whatever's in the glove box, which kills like 99% of germs. So there's actually a cleanser in the glove box for small items. This is really, really cool, a very clearly COVID-inspired feature, and I wish that we saw it in more cars. I think it's fun, and I've been sanitizing my phone every single day, so very cool to see that. Below that, the Calligraphy gets 2 wireless chargers. They charge about a percentage a minute, and I've enjoyed that. And down below, we do have cup holders, so we will do a big friggin' bottle test, but if you saw my video at the Chicago Auto Show, you'll already know the outcome, that the Calligraphy Santa Fe passes the big friggin' bottle test with flying colors. Then we do have a center console, which is pretty deep, and we'll talk about with the back seat. It actually feeds into the back seat, which is pretty cool. And we'll talk about the seats. The seats are very comfortable. They are heated and ventilated, power and memory, and I've enjoyed my time in them. I don't know how well these will hold up because they are a very light color, and if you are a big fan of wearing jeans, you might run into some issues. But I love them. I would always spec a lighter interior if possible. And before we get onto the back seats, this does have a Bose sound system, which I absolutely adore. For a vehicle like this, very, very good. And you have customizable ambient lighting. I think this is one of the coolest, nicest parts of the car. I mean, just look at how swanky this looks. I mean, it's so cool. Driving at night feels like a completely different vehicle, and you could change it depending on your mood or music or whatever you want. Hyundai has been doing this in a lot of their modern products like the Ioniq 5, and I'm always happy to see it. However, speaking of interior space, we have 2 more rows of seating. So let's go do some back seat reviews. All right, so we're in the second row of the 2024 Hyundai Santa Fe Calligraphy, and a couple of things to note. First of all, knee room good, headroom good. I'm 5'11", I'm not a small guy, and I fit back here pretty comfortably. Now, the Calligraphy does have power second row seats. Very, very nice to see that. Not often an option, which this motor for the back is pretty crazy because I'm not a light guy and it can pick me up pretty quick. Pretty nice motor. On the door, we have 2 cup holders. We have heated seats for the second row and nice wood paneling. We also have this little sunshade here, which is really nice as well. And we get a storage compartment in the center. Like I said, we'd talk about it later. The front storage compartment actually feeds into this bottom drawer, which is really, really cool. Love to see that. And I can actually access the center console from the back, which is really cool to see as well. 2 USB-C charger ports on the backs of the front seats, so the second row can use them, charge your devices, and I get to enjoy this beautiful second moonroof in the back here. This does have a power sunshade. However, I don't believe that I get any options for that myself, but you can power that up at the front. Let's now hop into the third row for my very first time and see how the space is back there. All right, in the very back row, I don't fit as gracefully as I might in a larger vehicle, but that's to be expected. I can get back here. Could I theoretically ride back here on a journey? I could. I wouldn't be very happy about it, but I could. I do have USB-C chargers on either side as well, so every single seat in the vehicle gets at least one charger, sometimes two, like up at the front. And I do have my fan speed back here, which I can turn on my rear AC. I don't know if you heard that come on. Probably not great for the audio, but I have my own rear fan speed, and I have a standard wall outlet to my right, which you can of course also access through the trunk, which we'll talk about in a second. This is a very good 3-row, not as good as some of the fuller size vehicles or longer vehicles, again, like a Tahoe or Grand Wagoneer L, but you're not paying those prices. This is a sort of if you need it 3rd row, not use every single day of the week 3rd row. Last thing I'll say about the back seats is that the Calligraphy comes with the 2 captain's chairs. However, lower trim levels can be optioned with a 2nd row bench, so you can increase it from a 6-passenger to a 7-passenger vehicle if you want. Something to think about. Let's hop into the very back. We'll take a look at the trunk and cargo space, and then we'll talk about the looks. All right, so we're on the back of the Santa Fe. As someone rips it on a motorcycle, press and hold here on the key fob, and it does have a power-operated tailgate. Once we are back here, of course, we do have the 3rd row of seating right here, which you can fold down, 12-volt outlet, and some cargo holds to the sides. But we do have power 2nd row buttons right here, so we can actually lower at the push of a single button to lower the 2nd row. Push it down like that for the 3rd row. Kind of a 2-hand job, but then look at all of that cargo space you get here. Like I said, you can then access the outlet in the cargo space as well. Little AC 115-volt outlet. But there you go. That is the storage space of the new Santa Fe with all of the seats down, which I think is actually pretty handsome. And if you can't fit it back here, you probably shouldn't be moving it. Now we gotta talk about the looks, and I really like the look of the new Santa Fe. This is a complete departure from the outgoing generation. I'm sure you've heard that exact sentence a million times in your searches for Santa Fe videos, but it is true. I like the boxiness, I like the squared off look, and of course, you will see a ton of H's on the outside, and to be fair, inside of the Santa Fe. The headlights form an H. The front bumper forms an H. There's H stitching on the seats on the inside. So they are really pushing this H pattern, I guess, into the styling, and I don't mind it. However, let's talk about the paint color. This is known as Earthy Brass Matte. It's a gold, brown, copper style color. I think it looks pretty good. However, let me tell you why I would personally never option this. First of all, it's $1,000 for this paint. A lot of premium paint colors from like Mazda or Toyota, they're usually $350. I've seen upwards of like $600 for a paint option. In brands like this, no, this is $1,000. So already right away, you could knock it down to below $50,000 if you just don't get the paint. The second reason is that, cut to the in-car, Hyundai gives you the Hyundai Matte Paint Care Guide. You cannot take this car with this paint through an automatic car wash or use any products on the outside or even a terry cloth or paper towel on the paint. So, I had to hand wash it this morning before this video, which I'm not complaining about having to hand wash, but the fact that I didn't have the option to do automatic is kind of annoying. So while I clean the car, I will read you the do's and don'ts out of the Hyundai Matte Paint Care Guide. Do not use wax, detail spray, Armor All, or any products made for normal paint. Use only products specifically developed for matte finish paint. Do not use products that are even mildly abrasive, such as polishes, glazes, or rubbing compounds. Do not use mechanical cleaners or polishers. Do not use terry cloth, or paper towels. Do not rub the finish vigorously. This will burnish the paint finish, causing a permanent shiny spot. Shiny spots cannot be removed. Do not use commercial car wash facilities or their shine enhancement products. Most car wash brushes, large mechanized towels, and shine enhancement products can damage the matte paint. Remove foreign substances such as insect remains, tar, or road debris using a soft applicator and a mild solvent. Saturate and soak the area before cleaning and only rub lightly. Hand wash with a soft wash mitt, which you're seeing me do now, and mild cleaning products safe for matte paint, which I did. Use microfiber cleaning cloths with alcohol-based window cleaner for basic surface cleanup. This thing goes on and on. I'll post high-resolution pictures of each page in case you really want to read every single thing that comes with this matte paint, but it is a lot. And so if you are going to buy something like this, just know that there's a lot of maintenance into it, and especially living here in the Midwest, when it gets really salty in the wintertime, you can't take it through an automatic wash. So good luck, I guess. One more thing about the exterior. I know this is a long-winded exterior segment, but we do have these handles on the side of the vehicle that allow you to get up to the roof rack. Very, very cool to see that. It'll be interesting to see how these age, but I think it's a very cool feature for the exterior of the Santa Fe. With all of that being said, don't worry, we have plenty more to go. Let's get on to my final thoughts. What do I think driving the new Santa Fe? Well, I've had a decent experience, but I do want to talk to my two friends, Drew and Mason from the Car Confections YouTube channel, on why they bought a new Santa Fe.
Hey Zach, it's Mason and Drew from Car Confections, and we wanted to just talk quickly about why we decided to buy the all-new Hyundai Santa Fe. I think there's quite a few reasons why we decided to buy that vehicle. I think really the number one reason is that you get a lot of value for the money, that's for sure, especially in the SEL trim that we bought. Yep. And it's a really good family comfortable vehicle.
Yeah, definitely the size of it,
yeah.
It grew, it got the third row, so it gave it a lot of utility that we could use it for things like a family road trip, which we have done. Also, the other main reason could be boiled down to just the fact that a lot of people are very interested in this product. We got tremendous interest on the channel, and we always make an effort to test out long-term vehicles that people are very interested in.
Always good to hear from them. They have tons and tons of wonderful Santa Fe videos. Please go check out the Car Confections YouTube channel if you haven't already. But odds are, if you're looking to buy a Santa Fe, you know who they are. They are wonderful, and I'm excited to see the updates on their Santa Fe. My final thoughts are, I like this a lot. I've had a good time driving this for the last 7 days. It was a very fun conversation starter with almost everyone. There were several times that people said, "It's a Hyundai?" And I had to go, yeah, it's not a Land Rover or Range Rover. It's not something more expensive. And $50,000 for a vehicle like this actually kind of makes a little bit of sense for a 3-row. It's kind of the going rate these days. I really thoroughly enjoy everything in here. The features are wonderful with the ventilated seats, heated seats, the steering assist on the highway, the nice wood grain, the UV light cleanser, the nice wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, the Bose sound system, the big friggin' bottle cup holders. It all is very, very nice, and I've loved it. I really have. But I start to worry and wonder if that is all going to go away after a year of ownership. After 2 years of ownership. Will the sheen of something so brand new and so shiny wear off and you're left with just a regular Hyundai? I mean, I have my doubts about long-term reliability having seen what I've seen. And to be fair, Hyundai has addressed the transmission problem with the Car Confections Santa Fe, and they're actively working on finding a solution. So it's not all as lost in the world, but much like, I don't know if you can see it, there's a Tesla parked next to me. Once the coolness of a Tesla wears down, you've shown all your friends the crazy 0 to 60 speed, you've done the parking assist for all your friends, everyone in your neighborhood knows that you drive a Tesla, you're left with just an iPhone on wheels. They get boring. Because they have that sheer excitement at the beginning, it sort of flatlines the rest of the ownership experience. In the contrary, take a Mazda MX-5. Because that car creates excitement through the driving experience, I'll always go back to one of those. I'll always enjoy those cars. Even when they are old, they still do what they set out to do. This car isn't going to be new forever. By the time this video comes out, it's already a has-been. So I like this car. I enjoy it a lot. I just don't know what its future holds. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Drew and Mason from the Car Confections for sending me that little clip to include in the video. They are absolutely wonderful. Like I said, if you're looking for Santa Fe videos, you cannot go wrong with Car Confections. If you haven't checked them out already, their video will be linked at the end of this video. I massively appreciate them. They're good friends, and honestly, like, really down-to-earth guys off camera as well. I can't speak highly enough of them. Huge thank you to Hyundai for loaning me this car for the last 7 days. Thank you to Drive Shop for cleaning and facilitating the delivery of this vehicle. And of course, the Midwestern Automotive Media Association. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.